about the unit turn. Tell me what you think about the unit turn, my friend.
Yeah, the unit turn, a very common phrase used by coaches. I know countrywide, and who knows how much it's used internationally. But from my understanding, what coaches are wanting their players to do with the unit turn is they're trying to make multiple body parts one unit,
Uh-huh.
whether it's the core, the trunk, the shoulders, the arms, and turn as one unit as part of preparation. Um, I will also sometimes translate the unit's turn when I hear people talking about it as that maybe replacing backswing. So instead of backswing with just one piece of the body, the arm, it's a unit making the backswing. That that's kind of the gist of what I'm thinking the coaches are doing to get multiple body parts turned, have early preparation, and be ready to swing.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like in the old days, back in the 70s, when they talked about turn sideways, right? Turn your whole body sideways. But to me, honestly, so many of the tips that they use in tennis are they just dumb it down because they look at their audience seriously like retards. They just think their audience they just think their audience is stupid, and I would call it a bully mentality because it's not really what's happening. You don't move your body like a block. That's not the beauty you see when you watch Djokovic or Federer or any of the great players. And then most pros will go, well, yeah, but you're not going to be that good of a player. And that's what I mean by a bully mentality. It's like, well, you ain't got it, so just do the best you can and just be happy to be a good beginner or a decent intermediate. But they're not really teaching you what's happening. On a unit turn, I can prove it. It's actually you're off balance because if you move your body as a unit, where's the weight in the front? Where's the counterbalance? I mean, I can actually show you real quickly. I mean, I do that with these swivels, right? I put these on the ground, and so on a forehand, let's say you're the net, so I
Yeah.
face the 45. If I move as a unit, watch. If I literally move as a unit, you see, I actually fall because there's nothing left in the front. See that to keep me. So the pros don't move like that. It's a double conic, meaning in the center is the movement, and then the legs are pulled, and the chest is pulled, and that's how you get into a coil. Think about it. If you move as a unit, where's the coil? Where's the tension? But if I
Right.
move my hips a little early, see now you can see it's already tugging on my arm, and that's where you get the nice stroke. If you move as a unit, like I said, bully mentality, you all of a sudden have this stiff game and you see everyone at the country club playing like this. But if you think with your hips, you see there's counterbalance. That's why so many
Yeah.
players
Newton's law.
beforehand, so many players put their finger on the strings. See, they don't want to move as a unit, right? They don't take it back. They leave their hand here and they pull against this, and then it catches up. So I would say personally, even though it's an easy thing to say, certainly easy. No, move as a unit. Oh, sure. I just think it's talking down to the student, and I'd have to say it's guilty of being false. It's a false statement, and
Yeah.
it's really this double conic, meaning it goes in and then it goes out to the feet again, and it's the center that moves, pulling everything else. That's why so often people go, "Oh, it starts from the ground up." That's another tip we should talk about.
The
The
kinetic
ground
chain.
up. Well, that sounds good, feels good, and it actually feels like it starts in your feet, but it's the hips that are tugging the feet that make it feel like it's in the feet. It's not
Yeah.
your foot muscles, right? It's not your foot
Well,
muscles.
well, right. I mean, there's a whole lot more to it than just starting in the feet. Like you've got to have the racket organized. But you hit on a couple of things that the unit turn doesn't give the whole picture of, and that is the counterbalance. That is the muscle tension, that gives you more spring and more natural power. Whereas, like you said, the unit turn, now there's dead weight, and now
That's
you need
right.
to restart. You don't get any centrifugal force of continuous motion fluidly moving through the stroke.
That's
So,
right. It just becomes mechanical, and that's probably the biggest thing that club players don't want to be, but they all are. They're all
yeah,
mechanical in some ways, and that's because we're so prescriptive the way the coaches go, oh, do this with your hand, point at the ball, do that. It's all
right.
very linear and it's very prescriptive. And first of all, you can't remember all that. So,
Yeah,
but if you can remember, oh, your ready position, see how you wiggle the hips like Rafa
yeah,
or
yeah,
Serena, right? That's the
yeah.
ready
Or
position. Right, and that ready position represents really the whole game because that little non-static ready position is really the stroke. If you just enlarge it, it's the strokes, both
yes,
sides. So I'd have to say uniturn, easy to say. It's easy to say, and it,
yeah,
it will help the absolute, tennis player that can't find his ass with both hands. Yeah, turn. Okay, I can turn, coach. And
yeah.
and but it's certainly dumbing down the sport again, and I would have to give it a guilty
Okay.
as a bad tip personally. I think there's a better way to say it.